Are you planning a trip to Banff and thinking about all the logistics of how to go, when to go, what to do? Then you have come to the right place because I will tell you all about it. Banff is the most beautiful place in Canada, no questions asked, and it is also the first national park to be ever established in the country as well. I was there recently and I have all the information you need to know to plan your own trip to Banff. So look no further because you have come to the right spot. And to start with, let's give a quick sub to the channel and find out how to get to Banff. Since there's no actual airport in Banff, the closest airport will be Calgary, which is about 1.5 hours drive away from Banff town, or it is a 4 hours drive away from Edmonton Airport. And if you're in a mood to splurge, check out Rocky Mountaineer, which is actually a very luxury train that runs between Vancouver and Banff. And me? I flew. I took a flight from Toronto to Calgary, and from Calgary Airport, it's best if you rent a car and drive to Banff, but there are other options too if you don't or can't drive. Companies like Banff Airporter and Brewster Express run regular shuttles between the two locations, and on weekends, between Friday and Sunday, On It Transit runs commuter buses for $10 only, but make sure you book in advance. And a lot of these services get limited in winters, so definitely make sure what timings and schedules are there for the month you are visiting. Getting around in Banff. Well, obviously you have a car, then you can use that to get around, but if you don't, Banff's public transport called Rome Transit is a great option which is regular, convenient as well as cheap. A day pass costs $5 and you can get around Banff as many times as you like. There are a lot of other routes being serviced by Rome Transit along with multi-day passes that you can find. I've put the link to the routes and the schedules down in the description box below. You can check it out and let me know if you prefer using public transport or rent your own car when you are traveling. Did I tell you Rome Transit also runs regular shuttles to Lake Louise and Moraine Lake? There are $10 passes that take you to Lake Louise, and then there are $25 super pass that takes you to both Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. But this is only a summer service. Rome Transit is a great way to get around, which is cheap, affordable, convenient, and takes you everywhere. Not only these two places, Rome Transit also connects to other places like Lake Minnewanka, Johnston Canyon, to Jack's Lake, and all these beautiful places around Banff. So if you don't drive, you really don't have to worry about missing out on a lot of places. What are your stay options? Ideally, you should stay in Banff downtown, particularly on Banff Avenue, because that is such a beautiful part of the town. And that is exactly where all the restaurants and shops are. So you can just like walk around, see the town, and be in the middle of all the hustle and bustle of the town. There are a lot of options from high-end luxury hotels like the Fairmont Chateau to budget-friendly hostels, which might still be more expensive but cheaper than others. There are a lot of hostels also in Banff. Hostel culture is big in this town because a lot of backpackers come all the way from Vancouver. So definitely check those out. You might get a bed in a shared dormitory that might be way cheaper than a lot of other places. I also stayed at a hostel which is known as High Banff Alpine Center, and I paid about $80 a night for a bed in a 4-bed shared dormitory with a shared bathroom. Yeah, I know, paying that much money for a hostel bed, that too in a shared room, don't even tell me about it. I booked everything last minute and that's the price I paid for it. But one good thing about this place was that they provided me with a free 3 days Rome Transit pass to get around the downtown. And so check this with your accommodation because I saw a lot of other hotels also providing the same thing. So if that's there, then you save up on using public transport as well. Now, Banff is a small town and it's highly likely that it gets booked out very quickly. When I was looking, there were only 2 places available that fit into my budget. So very highly recommend booking in advance. But if you don't find a place in Banff, you can stay in Canmore too, which is just 20 minutes away from Banff and is also connected by Rome Transit. Apart from these two towns, if you want to spend a little more, you can spend a night at Lake Louise Village. There are cabins at Johnston Canyon and lots of Airbnbs in the areas too. What is the best season to visit Banff? If you ask me, there are only 2 seasons in this area, which is summer and winter. 9 out of 12 months, it's snowing here. So basically, the 3 months you can comfortably enjoy are June to August. September and October are also nice, but it gets chilly and a lot of services start shutting down. So the best time to visit Banff is summer, which also means it's high season, which is equal to large crowds. This place gets around 4.5 million annual visitors, and a majority of them go in summer. Why? Well, because in winters the temperatures are always sub-zero with heavy snowfall and you can barely see anything properly. The lakes are so frozen that you can actually walk on them. People go ice skating. A lot of places are also not accessible and roads are shut down, but on the good side, it becomes a winter sport destination, which is a paradise for skiing and ice skating lovers. So if you're into winter sports, definitely check Banff out in winters as well. But if you ask me, summer is the only time to see Banff in its full glory. Oh yeah, it's not unusual to see some snow days even in summer. So yeah, be prepared for everything. Now everything's done, you are settled down, and now what should you do? I'll ask just one question. What is Banff famous for? It's lakes. So obviously the first thing you have to do is visit the world famous Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. I'll tell you more details about it later in the video, but apart from these, spend a full day at Banff town. I did not do it and I super regret not being able to do it because there was so much to do. So if you're going, I would really recommend keeping one day just to explore Banff town. There's a free parking at the start of town, and from here, the first thing you should do is take some photos at the Banff Town sign and head over to experience this cute, charming town nestled in the mountains. Some major attractions include Sulphur Mountain Gondola, Banff Upper Hot Springs, Cave and Basin, Cascade Gardens, Banff Avenue, and Tunnel Mountain. And if you have time, you can also visit Canmore, which is where The Last of Us was shot, if you remember that, and it's just 20 minutes away from Banff Town. I was there just for a weekend and my itinerary was very much rushed. I spent my first day at Moraine Lake and then woke up super early the next morning and headed to Lake Louise. I also did the Big Beehive Trail and look at how beautiful the view is. It was one of the best experiences in my life, but the hike is very difficult. I have made a full video about it, you can find it here. And my third day was spent road tripping on Icefields Parkway, which was so spectacular. I've made detailed vlogs about all these 3 days and you can find them on my channel, so definitely go check those out if you want to know where I stopped, what I recommend and how to visit and what to do at Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. But trust me when I say this that 3 days is not enough to see Banff. It is definitely not enough. I really wish I had more days so I could actually go further and check out Jasper and Yoho National Park because they are beautiful gems as well. How to visit Moraine Lake? There's a lot of discussion around this topic because now private vehicle access is closed and you can't really take your car and park at Moraine Lake because the crowd was getting uncontrollable. But you have got 4 options. Parks Canada Shuttle, Rome Transit Superpass using tour agencies or biking or walking to the lake. The first 2 are more budget-friendly options and give access to both Moraine Lake and Lake Louise. Third option will be a little more expensive and fourth is very strenuous, so do it at your own risk and after researching a lot. But vehicles with disabled sticker are actually permitted to go and drive all the way at Moraine Lake. So if you have that, you can actually go there and park near the lake and visit it normally like you would do. If not, these are the 4 options. Some of these services are also seasonal and I have mentioned in detail everything about it in this vlog which you can check out after this video. I have mentioned everything you need to know to visit Moraine Lake and whether it's worth it, what's the pricing, everything, A to Z. And how should you visit Lake Louise? Well, it's not complicated. You can simply drive and park at the lake. Parking is $21 for a vehicle between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. I highly recommend going early in the morning because parking lot gets full quickly. You might not find parking if you are there super late in the day and battle a lot of crowds to take pictures. Yep, you need a parks pass to enter Banff, Jasper, Yoho or Icefields Parkway or basically any region in that area. There are day passes available at banfflakelouise.com and you just enter the dates you are traveling to and the number of people and how many vehicles. They will give you the best possible option. Or you can also get the Discovery Pass for a year, which is really useful if you plan to visit more than once. It covers all national parks across Canada and link to the website is in the description box, so definitely check out which is the best option for you. What to pack for Banff? Okay, one thing to remember is that Banff is an alpine region and weather changes very quickly. It can rain, snow, be sunny all in the same day, so definitely pack for all weathers and pack layers. Even if you're going in summers, don't get deceived by weather forecast because it can change very quickly. Base layers, jackets, fleece, socks, gloves, caps are absolutely important to keep even if you don't use them. A light jacket is essential even in summers. Apart from these, hiking boots, sunscreen and bug spray are essentials. And finally, one thing not to forget if you're going hiking in this region in summers is bear spray. Banff and Jasper National Park have a significant amount of bear population and you don't want to come across them without any protection in your hands. Some hotels or hostels rent these out for a minimum price or for even free. That is what I did. I asked my hostel, gave it to me for free and I just gave it back after I was done. But remember, you cannot carry bear spray from a different region if you're flying, because bear sprays are not permitted in flights. They're considered explosives, so you can't really take them. And lastly, is Banff expensive? Absolutely yes, no questions asked. Expect to pay a premium price for every single thing, especially in peak season. Accommodations, food, activities, car rental, everything is super expensive here. So my one takeaway from this experience is book everything well in advance and expect to spend a lot of money. You can definitely make this budget high or low depending on what kind of traveler you are, but don't expect to pay $30 a night at even in a hostel, because this place is expensive. Hostels are cheaper than other places, but they might not be the cheapest place you have stayed at. And my final thoughts are that even though Banff is super expensive, it is worth every penny because the beauty is immeasurable. It is one of the most surreal places I've ever seen in my life, and I definitely recommend you to add this place in your bucket list if you haven't already. But I'm assuming since you're on this video, you're actually looking to go there. If you want to book a good hostel or hotel in Banff, I've put my referral link in the description box below. Do use it if you feel like, because I would get a little bit of commission out of it. You don't have to pay anything extra, you just go through the same process. I just get a little percentage of the sale. And if you find my videos useful, you can also buy me a coffee. And lastly, do give me a sub, and if you find the video helpful, do give it a like for YouTube algorithm. And I have a super amazing trip coming up in my next few weeks, which is going to be super good. You will be so happy to see this place, and I am super excited to show you. And if you want to see everything live, just go on my Instagram and follow me there. You'll see all the stories. And I will see you next week. Bye.